So I've been working on this spool design since I started the Kickstarter, and the reason is because I went fishing with this version of the spool, and what I noticed is that sometimes when you cast, the line actually gets caught underneath this sharp edge. So I had to change the way it looked so that it functioned better. So what I came up with was just kind of a cool basic design like this, where there's no longer any big cuts where the line sits on the spool, so that it'll pass right over it. And after I posted the Kickstarter video, someone commented on YouTube mentioning that, hey, you have some room in that spool, maybe you can put a storage compartment. So that's exactly what I did. I thought it was a wonderful idea, and since I just so happened to be working on the spool design and redesigning it, I took advantage of the opportunity to get some storage space in the spool. This is all 3D printed, so it doesn't look nearly as good as when it's actually going to be machined. But what you can see from the original spool, it's still the exact same footprint or shape as the original, except that it just doesn't have all these internal cutouts and stuff like that. So, and what I did was I put a few different hooks and things in here to kind of show how much storage you get. So let's take a look inside it. Remove the cotter pin and remove this, and you can see all the different things you can fit in this version. On this one, the axle would have to be a little bit longer, but I don't think that'll cost much more for me to manufacture that. And then what you can see is you can fit quite a few little things in here. So I just jam-packed it with whatever small tackle I had laying around. But yeah, I got some little beads you could use. They could represent if you're fishing for trout or salmon up north, you know, different little lures you guys might use for that. And then I have some small circle hooks that would be perfect for catfish, or you could even use them for bass. And I have a couple treble hooks, smaller treble hooks that fit in there, some split shot weights, and then of course some more snap swivels, since you have to use them with this fishing reel. And then I also put a little worm. This is like a power bait worm, but it kind of represents that you could catch some actual worms and put them in there. So anyways, the little storage compartment, it's not very big. In fact, you can take a look at how big it actually is. See, these in inches. So, let's take a look at that. So, it gives you about 1 inch across in diameter, but then you have to take into account that the axle runs through it. So you just insert it right there and pop the cotter pin back on there if I can find it. So I thought this was a really good idea. It doesn't look as sleek as the one with the design spool, but it functions the same. The only thing that pops out a little bit more is this little nub, so it makes it a little bit bigger, but honestly it doesn't really affect it a whole lot. So I'm posting this video to ask you guys which spool you guys prefer for the Kickstarter version. Just comment or send me a message letting me know which one you guys like better. This is a 3D printed spool that I painted to try to make it look metallic, so it's kind of doesn't fit on there very good. But either way, once these are machined from aluminum and anodized, it's going to look wonderful. But so this one just has more of a sleek appearance, and the cotter pin sits down in there a little bit further. Let's see if I can get this camera. So this one has a little bit more sleek of an appearance. And then this one is not as sleek, but it has the storage capacity. So anyways guys, let me know which one you like better. I personally like the storage one better. I think it's a pretty neat feature to have some little bit of storage on there. You can't fit lures that you might want to use inside there that you would think you could, like this tiny little crankbait does not fit in there. So it doesn't give you a whole lot of storage capacity, but you know, for example, see, this doesn't even fit in there. But you can, like I said, put little hooks and stuff in there, just cram them in there. And like I said, yeah, it's a great feature, but do you guys prefer a feature or do you guys prefer the better looking one? Anyways, I want to thank everyone for backing me on Kickstarter. It's been super successful so far, and I know it's going to be successful. And remember, if it reaches $10,000 in funding, I'll do it in another color. That's the price point I have to make to be able to afford to do it in another color. And then same goes for if we reach 15,000, we'll offer it in a third color. And when I send out the survey at the end, I'm thinking that's where I'm gonna ask people to vote on which color schemes they want for it. And then based on the votes, whichever one wins will have extra color options. But for right now, the only color it's gonna come in is this olive green anodizing and forest green. So this is what this pool looks like. This one's the painted one, but this is how this pool will actually look in color. So anyways, cool color scheme, but I'd love to see it in more colors. Anyways, thanks guys so much. Let me know.